Trump has once again hit out at the FBI agents who carried out the raid in his Mar-a-Lago residence over the fact that he had possession of classified and top secret documents. This time though, he has a legitimate complaint, something that I would be complaining about as well, because I really don't like it when people wear shoes inside. Now, he says, arrived in Florida last night and had a long and detailed chance to check out the scene of yet another government crime. The FBI's raid and break-in of my home, Mar-a-Lago. I guess they don't think there's a Fourth Amendment anymore. This guy is just a joke. And to them, there isn't. In any event, after what they have done, the place will never be the same. It was ransacked and in far different condition than I left it. Many agents, and they didn't even take off their shoes in my bedroom. Nice. Now, to be fair to Trump, typically when a raid occurs, the agents conducting that raid, whether it be local police, SWAT, or in this case, the FBI, are very courteous. Usually they politely knock on the door. When they walk in, they ask, is it okay if I walk in with my shoes, or do you prefer I take my shoes off? In fact, we have some evidence of what a typical raid looks like, okay? So I just wanna be fair to Trump. Here's what raids look like in America.
These are SWAT teams preparing to execute forced entry search warrant raids. This type of raid led to the death of at least 81 civilians and 13 officers from 2010 to 2016. In order to preserve potential evidence, officers lean on the element of surprise. As police broke down his door in 2010, Todd Blair emerged from his bedroom with a golf club. He was shot to death 5 seconds after the first ram at his front door. The real target, a former roommate, had moved out. Police found a small amount of drugs in the home.
Now, Cenk, as you know, Donald Trump had warning 2 months prior to the raid happening where they're like, yo, can we get those classified documents? We know you have them. He wouldn't comply and the raid happened, and it was nothing like what typical raids are like.
Well, look, I know that video was really harrowing, but I just couldn't wait for them to take off their shoes, and they never did. It was weird.
They never did.
Yeah, and so, but you know, this is classic entitlement. And this is real, guys. I mean, I didn't grow up entitled, so it took me a long time to understand it. And like some people just expect to be given things. Some people expect to be above the law. It never occurred to me. So, and Trump is classic example of it. He's like, oh, the FBI comes busting in. No, they didn't come busting in. They actually asked you for a year and a half. And then the last 2 months, you were absolutely obstinate and you were clearly hiding documents when you told them you weren't. They asked pretty please 1,000 times. Then they finally come in and you're worried they didn't take their shoes off? Like, right wing, do you understand? Like, come on, guys, come on.
Did you have slippers ready for them? Because it's just common courtesy to have the slippers ready if you're gonna ask them to take their shoes off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and look,
common courtesy.
But really, guys, right wingers, if you ever watch anything outside of Fox News, do you think the FBI should take their shoes off every time they go into a house? Maybe we could have a deal on that, by the way. The left wing might be okay with that. I mean, if they're not gonna shoot people to death the minute they walk in, yeah, sure, great, take your shoes off, get comfortable, okay? But I mean, are you guys all upset? Because anything Trump is upset about,
totally.
MAGA gets like, oh, you goddamn FBI, deep state. Now the deep state's not even taking off their goddamn shoes. As if like that's a real thing, okay? Look, I'm Turkish, we have a huge tradition of taking off your shoes, unless you're the FBI. You're raiding a place, and it turned out, by the way, he did have stolen documents. 100 documents that were classified that he said he didn't have, he was lying about, and he had stolen. But they didn't take off the shoes. But Anna, today there's another piece of news about how pathetic Donald Trump is.
Oh, thank God. I mean, it had been a while.
Because I'm just wondering how anybody is a fan of this man-child. It's amazing. So Maggie Haberman reporting from the New York Times. As Trump has been out of office for the last 20 months, a rotating cast of aides have been tasked with following him around the golf course at the club he's at and giving him positive reinforcement from Twitter and wherever else they find him on the web per people told of the practice. He literally has people following around telling, oh, Donald Trump, Bob said you were great on Twitter. Susie on Parler said that you have nice hair. That is the single most pathetic thing I have ever heard.
Listen, I mean, who's the pathetic one though? Sure, a case can certainly be made that Trump is the pathetic one, but who would degrade themselves in raising their hand and agreeing to do that for Trump? Like, have some self-respect. Do we have any names? Did Haberman share any names?
No, but it's a lot. It's like a group of 20.
I'm sure most of them are men.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 20 months. It's a rotating cast of people, she said.
Rotating.
And it's been 20 months.
Yeah, so all these dudes who were following their daddy and giving him like validation endlessly, I mean, they're unmanned. I'm sure it's the feminists' fault, right?
Yeah, no guys.
No, it's a masculinity crisis, folks. It's a masculinity crisis.
And if you're saying, well, I mean, look, you got to do your job. Well, no, nobody made you do that job. You can go get another job. And when I was in a law firm, one of the partners every year celebrated General Lee's birthday. And I didn't know he was gonna do that, and he saluted to General Lee. And I immediately added as a first year, and of course to General Grant as well, who won the war for America, okay? So you can actually have courage on your job.
Yep.
And these guys are going around, Donald, somebody else likes you. They're like the minions from the movie. I don't know if they speak English or if they're like little yellow creatures that run around. But MAGA guys, this is your hero? The guy who thinks that I can't believe the FBI when they were legitimately raiding me didn't take off their shoes. And somebody say something nice about me. I'm so insecure, please somebody say something nice about me.
I just want to.
That's your alpha? That's your alpha?
No, but that's the point, right? That's the only point in all of this. The only point is conservatives don't get to be the authority on what is and is not masculine when they're like hiding behind Trump's skirt constantly, okay? And like just embarrassing themselves to please their daddy. I mean, it's just unbelievable that these are the guys who think, no, we're the masculine ones. There's a masculinity crisis, and we're the ones who are defending it.
No, 100%. They talk about the wussification. They say, oh, we know what a man is, what a woman is, and what a man is.
Do you?
Do you? Do you? Okay.
Man. By the way, Matt Walsh got a little embarrassed that people were clowning on him for having a meltdown over The Little Mermaid. So now all of his minions are like, he was just joking. No, you're just joking.
Oh, yeah.
You're just joking. Yeah, okay. He's just joking, sure.
Okay, one of the things he was embarrassed about is that he didn't know that there were non-white fish.
I just,